that your phone should be, where is my phone? Oh. Hey guys, and welcome to another acting tips video with me, Dineo Rasedile. If it is your first time tuning in, welcome to my channel where I share not only acting tips but also my personal journey and growth in the TV and film industry. Now, it's been about a week and a half since we've been back at it, and since then I have been to one in-person audition, and also I've had to submit one self-tape audition. And I've also noticed, since things have started opening up again, that a few production companies have put out open casting calls for new talent, new faces to submit auditions to be added to the productions, and these I've seen are done via self-tape auditions. So before the pandemic, we had already started submitting self-tapes, but it wasn't as frequent as we have to do it now. So it's definitely something that every single actor needs to get comfortable with and needs to master. So that's exactly what I'll be talking about today. I'll be sharing some pretty standard general industry self-tape tips, as well as the equipment that I use to shoot my own self-tapes. So stay tuned. So with a self-tape audition, most importantly, they want to see your acting. They want to see whether you can deliver what they're looking for in terms of the character and the story. They are not looking to see whether you have the most amazing cinematic skills, your editing abilities, your cinematography. No, but there are some basics that you need to get right in order for your self-tape audition to be taken seriously and considered. So the first thing I want to get out of the way is the space, the environment that you shoot in. Your background needs to be a solid background. It needs to be a wall. Don't shoot in a place where we can see the room behind you. So don't shoot in the middle of a dining room, your bedroom, your sitting room, or whatever, where they can see the glasses in the room divider, whatever the case may be. But make sure that you're standing in front of a wall, preferably not a textured wall, but solid and as not busy as possible. This is to make sure that you are the focus and that you are the only thing that the person that's watching is going to be looking at and is not distracted by anything else in your frame. While we're still in this space, make sure that the room is quiet. So don't shoot your self-tape where somebody is watching TV or listening to a radio or having a conversation. Close yourself in a room that is silent so that there's absolutely no distracting sounds in the background that can sabotage your audition. Thirdly, while we're in the topic of your space, make sure that it has good lighting. So it might happen that you don't have additional lighting, and so it's very important that you choose a room that has got good enough natural light seeping into the room. So if possible, the wall that you choose, the space that you choose, make sure it will be helpful, rather, let me not say make sure, but it will be helpful if there's a window opposite that room, so that the light is hitting your face and not from the side. So if you can find a room where the window is opposite where you're standing, it will work out even better for you to be well lit, and this is if you do not have any additional lighting. Most smartphones on the market today are good enough to produce a self-tape that is of a good, acceptable quality. As long as you have good lighting, you have good sound, your self-tape should be more than enough, or more than good enough rather, to shoot a self-tape that will be acceptable to the casting director. So you can use any phone, but the most important thing to remember is that your phone should be, where is my phone? Oh. Your phone, when you're using your phone, you should always record it in landscape and not portrait mode. So the reason for that is so that when they are watching your self-tape, it doesn't show on the screen in this tiny little, you know, it just doesn't look good. So make sure that you shoot in your landscape mode and not in portrait mode. And then sound. Most smartphones, once again, the sound is pretty good, pretty decent, and you can rely on it as long as you are in a quiet room. But if you do want to use additional sound, you can just plug in a microphone. But it really isn't that necessary. If you're going to use your smartphone and you make sure that you are in a quiet room, you should be fine. Now the last bit is your reader. So your self-tape will come as a dialogue, and even though you're the one auditioning, you're going to need somebody to read for you the lines of the other characters in the script. It only needs to be one person reading every other character that is not your own, and they just need to stand off camera because you're the only person that needs to be seen in the self-tape, so they can just place themselves next to the camera, off frame, and just simply read the lines. They don't have to be an actor, they don't have to perform, they don't have to be dramatic. They just need to clearly read the lines, and you respond and react accordingly. So now I'm going to move on to the equipment that I use to record my self-tapes. I like to keep things extremely simple, and it just makes it easier to edit. And yeah, I'm not that tech savvy, so I don't like to stress my life. So even though I have a camera, I prefer to shoot my self-tapes with a smartphone. That is simply because it makes it easier to edit, and it makes it easier in terms of size as well, because most of the time casting directors will tell you that your videos shouldn't be too big, and then if they are, then you have to compress them and make sure that they fit the size that is stipulated. But you find that if you just use your smartphone, it comes in the size that, you know, is acceptable. And then for my microphone, I actually use a Boya lavalier mic. Is that how you say it? Lavalier. I think lavalier sounds correct. I bought this about 2 years ago, and it's you just basically plug it into your cell phone, and it works on every cell phone that I've used it on. And then you just clip it into your wardrobe, hide the cable underneath, and you're good to go. And the sound is really, really good. I got this from Take a Lot, and it was just under 200 Rand. So it works really well. The quality is pretty good. And yeah, I have absolutely no complaints about it. So if you do want additional sound and you don't want to break your bank, this is a really good mic to use. And then I use a ring light, which I also got off of Take a Lot, and it was also around the 300 Rand price range. It comes in 3 different light modes, and the tripod, which is what I love about that ring light, is that it has an adjustable tripod which is high enough to record me sitting down and standing, and most of my self-tapes I do standing. So I love the fact that if I use that ring light, I don't need to use a tripod because it's like 2-in-1. So the space that I record in also, I sort of created a little corner at my house where I record all my video footage, and I painted the walls grey, like a soft grey, which comes out really nicely on my self-tapes. And then I also have the black backdrop, which my dad and I constructed together. Well, he did most of the constructing, but you know, I put the finishing touches together. And the nice thing I like about it is that it doesn't go all the way up to the ceiling, so I can literally drape whatever color background that I want on it and switch it up for whatever shoot I need to do, whether it's like Instagram, whatever. So that's also pretty cool. When it comes to editing it, you can literally just download an app on your app store, and just make sure that it's a video editing app that does not have a watermark on the finished product. And that just basically means that when you're done editing and they've put your video together, that it doesn't leave a stamp of the logo of that whatever editing app. But yeah, basically that's about it that I use, and my self-tapes turn out pretty good, and my agent has always got good feedback for it. So yeah, remember, at the end of the day, your self-tape is basically what is going to sell your audition to the casting director, and will determine whether you get called in for a callback or whether you book the job. Remember that these people are extremely busy, and if you send a poor quality self-tape, it literally will be self-sabotage, because if they open your video and there you are standing in the middle of the room and there's all this stuff happening in the background with these people talking, or the sound is muffled, or it looks too dark, they're not going to spend 20 minutes trying to figure out what you're saying or what the hell is going on. They're just going to move on to the next person because there's probably like 200 other self-tapes that they need to get through. So make sure that you put in the work, you get yourself together and put together good quality work that is going to put you forth as a professional actor. Right, so that is it from me for today for my acting tips, and I hope that this is a very useful and informative video. Please pop me any questions that you might have or comments in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have already. Welcome to the family, and I will see you on the next video.